Well, I was 20 years old when I was drafted, and went to Fort Lewis for my basic training, and it was pretty rough. I mean, we did a lot of forced marches and stuff, and my feet started swelling up really bad, and I didn't want to go on sick call because what they do is recycle you, and then you just start all over again, and I have to go through it all again. After basic training, I got married to Kathy Obrist. Then we come home for a short leave, and then back to Fort Lewis. Finally, they shipped me out and landed in Vietnam. And I got off the plane, and man, that heat hit me, and instant tummy ache it gave me. So I asked a MP to stand there, where's the restroom? And he pointed to the restroom. So I go in there, and it's just a hole in the floor. And I come back out, he says, "Welcome to Vietnam." First big firefight we got in was about a week into it, and it was a big firefight. And I said, "Man, there's no way I'm gonna last a year here if it's like this every day." Yelling medic, you know, there's guys getting hit every time you move, somebody was getting shot. He comes running by to go help, you know, and we couldn't move, we'd get shot every time somebody moved. We had to wait till dark. We finally got pulled back, got out, and called in B-52 bombers. And they came in and bombed the heck out of the place so we could go back in the next day and retrieve our dead, what we could find. We was on one patrol, and a radio guy was shot, and I was standing right there, and the captain took his radio off and threw it to me. Says, "You're now my RTO." You know, so I started being his RTO. They kind of told me what I was supposed to do and everything, and he kind of liked me. He says, you're really calm on the radio when we're under fire and stuff, so you're going to stay my RTO. And I said, oh boy. Because the first target is either the RTO or the guy that's in front of you or in behind you, because he's somebody in control, you know. One time we were on a patrol, and we found a cache for the Viet Cong. It was one of the largest ones found that they had on record, and it was many truckloads of stuff that was hauled out, radios and all kinds of food and canned food and weapons and ammo, and that had to have hurt them. So we had to hurry up and get it out of there fast, because we figured, man, this is a big cache. They could have a lot of Viet Cong coming trying to get it back. So we loaded her up and got her out of there and got the heck out of there. Early in the morning, we'd be going on patrol, so we'd all line up, and 5 to 6 guys lined up on the airstrip, and the choppers would come in, and we all 5 or 6 of us get on each chopper, and they'd take off, and then they'd fly us out to a landing zone and drop us off and start our patrols. And I loved riding in the choppers. That was the best part of the whole thing. That and getting picked up when you wanted to get the heck out of there. Because those chopper pilots were unreal. They would come in under fire to get us out of a bad situation. And it was just, they were real heroes too, the pilots. You know, the kids is the ones I loved. I mean, Kathy would always send me boxes of candy and stuff, and I couldn't eat all of it. And I'd been fat like I am now then. But anyhow, I'd give it to the kids and everything, but you know, they were caught between a rock and a hard place as far as I'm concerned, because the Viet Cong would come in, and boy, if they didn't bow down to them, they'd just shoot them. So you know, it was a bad thing, you know, bad war. It was a pretty bad experience. I just didn't think I'd make it a full year, but I knew there was a God, and I hadn't given my life over to the Lord yet, but He sure protected me through the Vietnam, because there was many times that I should have been dead, and I made it, so without a scratch. Meanwhile, back at home, my wife was pregnant. You get an R&R when you're in Vietnam. You get a week out of country, somewhere, Hawaii and Thailand. You could go to Thailand. There's a few places, I can't remember all of them. But I waited till the very last, because I didn't want to go after 6 months you could go. I wanted to wait till 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere, because I knew once I went to Hawaii, it'd be hard to come back to a war, you know. So we waited until, I think I only had 2 months left, and got to meet Paul for the first time. We had a good time, and coming back to the States after Vietnam was not the greatest. They says, whatever you do, don't go back with your uniform on. And so we put our civilian clothes on and just got rid of our uniforms because people were unhappy with the war, so they were taking it out of us when they'd see us in airports and stuff. And I never really had anybody spit on me or anything, but I had a lot of friends that did. So that was kind of a rough deal. Now it's much different. I've had more people thank me for, serving and not going to Canada or someplace, and I think they've realized that they were wrong about that, so they've kind of changed it. It's gotten a lot better.